A side, B side, what side are you on?
Oh, welcome back to another episode of A Side, B Side podcast. It looks like this week it's just going to be, well, the B side plus, I mean, I guess you would call it a single because Adam's not here, but I have someone very special to me, one of my besties in the whole world across the pond. Luke, how are you?
Hello, I am fine. How are you doing, bro?
Good, good, good. So, normally Adam and I, we start off and we kind of talk about any interesting movies or television shows we've seen lately. Have you seen anything? You probably watched this fantastic music country award show recently that was
Of course I
voiced.
did. Of course I did. Voiced by one of my best friends, Brooke. Done an amazing job. How can I not listen to it? Well, I listened to the bits that he sent me.
Oh, well, you know what? I give you a pass because it was like 7 o'clock here, which meant it was like 1 o'clock there.
Yep.
So I'll give you
was
a
late.
pass.
It was late. But you've given me all the information. You've sent me all the bits, all the important bits anyway, all the announcements that you made. So I saw everything that was worth seeing. So it's all good.
So you tell me about a lot of good shows to watch. So what have you watched lately?
I do. I actually watched that Tupac documentary about
Mhm.
Tupac Shakur and Afeni Shakur called Dear Mama.
Yeah.
And it was the final episode on Friday. Well, we got it out here on Saturday, and it has been amazing. It's one of the best Tupac documentaries I have seen in my life, and I think I have seen all of them because I am a big nerd,
Yeah,
and
you
it
are
is
huge
definitely
into
the best
Tupac.
one. Yep, and it's definitely the best one I have seen by far. So
Okay. Well, it's on my
you
list. I'm
need to
gonna
give it a
start
watch.
that. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yep,
give that a watch. Here,
you have
over
no
here, it's on
choice. You have to.
Hulu.
You have to.
So okay, so here's a good question. So because of the difference in television between here and there, like we have you've got like everybody's got Netflix, but here we have like HBO and Hulu and Disney. How do you watch the shows there? Oh, is that
How do I
something we
watch
can
the
talk
shows
about?
here? That is something we could talk about because you can't get me in trouble. I illegally stream most of them. Don't put me in prison. But yeah, we have Disney, we have Amazon, we have Netflix. We don't have no Hulu. We don't have HBO, which is terrible because all the best shows come out on HBO.
Oh, I
So
know. Oh man, the
yeah,
last one we talked about together on HBO was The Last of Us. Or yeah, The
oh,
Last
that
of
was
Us.
amazing.
So good. So
That was
good.
amazing. That was amazing. See, I did not illegally download that one though.
Oh, see?
I watched that. It was on TV out here. It was on cable. So
Okay.
that's how I watched it.
Look at you being a good
I
boy,
know.
not being illegal.
Law-abiding citizen.
There's one that I just I think there's like two more episodes set to come out that's on HBO. It's called Love and Death. I was telling you a little bit about it. It's
Yeah.
based on a true story of this woman named Candy Montgomery who was like a pillar in her community, great mom, great wife, whatever. She kind of got bored, ended up having an affair, and then ended up murdering the wife of the man she had an affair with.
Whew. Sounded
Yeah.
very heavy.
Yeah,
Sounded very heavy.
it's heavy. So Hulu actually did their own version of it with Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel. And this one has Elizabeth Olsen. And
Okay.
it's really good. It's really good. It is heavy. I mean, it's not funny at all. It's not like you're
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
you know,
Justin Timberlake one sounds very Disney compared to this one.
yeah, it honestly, yes. Honestly, 100% yes compared to this one. But Elizabeth
Yeah.
Olsen is a really good actress. Oh my
See, I need to
gosh.
give it a go. I'm definitely gonna give that a go. It's gonna be on my to watch list.
I'm trying to think of
Yeah.
anything else. Well, I guess that's the obvious that we talked about at the very beginning. The 58th Academy of Country Music Awards happened last week in Frisco, Texas, and I had the
Yeah.
pleasure. of being the voice announcer.
Yes, and you've
Um,
done very well.
Thank you. Thank you. I got to say, the show itself was really well done. It was a great pace. The 2 hours moved really well. Dolly Parton, Dolly Parton is a goat, a legend. They call her a
Yeah.
goat, make some funny jokes. You have to see that if you haven't. Um, and then, of course, Garth Brooks, a legend, and the performances, they moved. Everything was very up tempo. They call it the party of the year, and it truly did feel like a party
Yeah.
this year.
I could tell by your energy from what you showed me. Your energy was so high
It was
that I can imagine it felt like a party.
Oh my gosh, when I was talking and then hearing the crowd just respond to what I'm saying, I'm like, "You're Dallas Cowboys." And then the crowd's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Yeah."
I heard that bit. I thought that bit was amazing. I thought that was amazing. I just heard the energy just go through you. You were on,
It
you
was
forgot where you was
wild.
at for a
Yeah,
second.
I did. I did. I was like, "Oh, let me bring it back down. Let me bring it back down."
Uh, but
All
well
right.
done, you. Round of applause from me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there anything okay, so you and I have actually talked about in the future having a podcast. Is there
We
anything
have.
that we have talked about, like the differences between Americans and British, that you can think of right now that we've talked about that's really funny?
Do you know
Oh,
what?
uh-huh.
Go on,
Oh,
you go.
I was gonna say the way that we try to do British accents.
Yes, yes, yes. You do try to do the British accents and you sound like robots. You sound like robots
Are,
tending to be an Oliver Twist.
are you from London?
You sound like you're from London. No, this is what a real London accent sounds like, by the way, people. What you hear on the TV is a myth. This is it. This is it.
Okay, so like the accent that you hear on TV a lot, where would that one really be from?
That
Well, I
would
guess,
be East London. That'd be East London, South London. It's more the, how would you put it, what you would call Cockneys originate from East London. So
mhm,
there's that typical London slang and London, I guess, way of talking,
mhm.
which is known around the world. But everywhere else, we don't sound like that at all. At all. That's like
Oh,
saying everyone in America sounds the same. It's
right.
just, yeah,
That's true.
so
That's
many
true.
different, so many different locations, so many different accents.
Hmm.
It's just is what it is. But Americans cannot do English accents. English people do a better American accent than Americans do British accents. I'll say
It's
that
true.
much.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. So what were you gonna say?
What was I gonna say? Do you know what? I was gonna say the fact that you put me on the spot, my mind has gone blank and I cannot think of nothing off the top of my head. That's why I was like, you go. It has
Okay. All
taken the
right.
heat off me.
Okay. All
Thank
right.
the Lord.
I know we laugh a lot too about the difference in
We do.
words, and you've actually joined me on my show and
Uh-huh.
used you as a guinea pig on my show for a contest that we're doing, just because of the difference in the words, like different words that here for females, a jumper is a dress.
Oh no, a jumper would be like a sweatshirt out here.
No,
It's a sweatshirt. It's a sweatshirt.
it's
It's a
not a
sweatshirt.
sweatshirt. And then okay, here's a question for you. What is a trolley to you?
Trolley to me, that'd be a grocery basket, I guess. I'll tell you one that we haven't mentioned.
Okay.
Track pants. They're jogging
Joggers?
bottoms.
Jogger
Yep,
jogging pants, track pants.
yep,
Okay, okay. All right.
yep. Jogging bottoms. That's what they are. They are jogging bottoms or joggers.
Okay. And then
Yeah.
I think those are the ones we talked about that uh make us both giggle a little bit. And then of course the difference in like aluminum as opposed to
It's aluminium. Aluminium. Yeah.
Oh man. All right.
Please don't even go on to the oregano and oregano.
Oregano kills me. Oh
It's
my
oregano.
days. Okay. Oregano. Oh, and herbs. Herbs and
It's
herbs.
herbs. It's herbs.
Herbs. No.
It's got a H. It begins with a H. It's herbs.
Oh, okay. So you know that I love, love, love true crime because we've talked about different cases.
We have,
And so
we have.
this is a case that is kind of big deal over here. And I don't know if you've heard about this one yet because it's just
Okay,
developing. So
okay,
this is the story of Eric and Kouri Richins. So Eric Richins, he was born May 13th of 1982 to Linda Carter and Jean Richins. He's born in
okay.
Buntyville, Utah. He's the oldest of three. He's got two younger sisters. And of course, he's in Utah. So you can imagine he's got like cattle. He grew up on a cattle
Yep,
ranch and he's just, living that ranch life.
yep,
So he also has been described as being the all-American. So if someone says to you, someone from
yeah.
London, oh, they're all-American, what do you envision?
What do I envision?
Yeah. If you hear
I
someone on a TV
envision,
show say he was all-American.
I envision someone who played sports, was
Mm-hmm.
quite popular,
Mm-hmm.
quite academic,
Okay.
done well in school, college, then extracurricular activities like being a yeehaw cowboy from Utah.
Well, yeah, so that's pretty much what it means. So he was described as a blue-eyed all-American guy. He's a as he grows up, he's a good father. He's a coach for his kids. His kids played, his three boys, they play soccer, basketball, baseball. But before we get into that,
Yep,
so growing up, he himself was, like you mentioned, very athletically inclined. He played
yep.
basketball, baseball, and soccer, which is why he
Okay,
probably loved, or as you would say, football.
it's football.
So, which is probably why he enjoyed coaching those for his kids. He was a member of the Church of Latter-day Saints. He actually did a 2-year mission in Mexico City where he
Okay.
became fluent in Spanish. And he
Mhm.
actually received a bachelor's degree from the University of Utah in international studies, where he minored in Spanish. And then he built his own successful business in masonry from the ground up.
Mm,
So
okay.
seems like a very decent guy.
Now waiting to see where this goes.
So Eric gets introduced to a woman named Kouri by a friend. Kouri and a woman named Linda actually work at Home Depot together. Linda and Eric are friends, and then Kouri and Linda are coworkers. And she thought that Kouri was just the sweetest woman and a perfect match for Eric. So she introduces them years ago. Linda says that Eric was the sweetest guy. She said to me, he just seemed like one of my kids. So Kouri and Eric, they meet, they hit it off, they marry, and
Okay.
they marry on June 15th of 2016. And almost immediately after they get married, it seems like the troubles start in their relationship.
Oh Lord.
So she was allegedly stealing money from him, and she's like borrowing large sums of money on his credit cards. Now, mind you, they marry in 2016. In 2020, he discovers that Kouri had borrowed $250,000 using a fake power of attorney and forging his initials on documents.
This is
So,
definitely gonna go bad.
oh, this is gonna go so bad.
Quarter of a million? I know this is going downhill.
So Kouri is confronted by Eric and she admits to stealing money. She's like, yeah, I didn't. He also discovers that Kouri took $80,000 that Eric had set aside to pay for his federal taxes and almost $55,000 that he had set aside for his state taxes because he's got a business, so he's got to pay taxes. So it's
Oh,
just bad, bad news, right?
yep. It's
Well,
sounding that way. This is over 300,000 and you've been 5 minutes into it.
the couple has been married about 6 years. On March
Yeah.
4th of 2022, Kouri throws allegedly this massive party at their brand new $2 million house hours after her husband has been poisoned.
Oh,
Yeah. Uh-huh. So let's act like we don't know this part so far. Kouri Richins' husband passes away in March of 2022, and she, to help her and her children cope with this, she publishes a children's book in April of 2023. The book is called Are You With Me? And she said that, she was reading to her children and she was reading them books and she was just trying to help them cope. And she decided she wanted to write a book for her children and for other people struggling with loss. That's how she came up with the idea of writing this book, Are You With Me? It's a 41-page book, and it was released on March 7th of this year. And Amazon described it as a must-read book for any child who has experienced the pain of loss, and for parents who want to provide for their children with the emotional support they need to heal and grow. Kouri said that her book is based on what she calls the 3 C's: connection, continuity, and care. She said it's just comforting to them to know that they're not living this life alone and that dad is still here, but just in a different way.
Oh,
Sounds
sounding
really
very
sweet.
wholesome.
Sounds
Sounds so
sweet.
wholesome.
Right. She actually said that there were plans for sequel books, like the next title, Mom, How Far Away is Heaven? Her book actually reached the top 5,000 on Amazon's top books.
But you've done well then.
Very well. But obviously, this is a true crime podcast, so it can't be that
Yes.
wholesome.
I'm expecting it to take a U-turn real quick.
This book comes out in March, and well, about a month later, she's promoting the book. She starts promoting the book in April. Well, in May of this year, she's arrested. May 8th, as a matter of fact, just a few days ago. She's arrested.
wow.
And she's charged with aggravated murder, which is a first-degree felony here,
Yeah.
and 3 counts of second-degree felony possession with intent to distribute. Her
She a
husband,
naughty girl.
she's very naughty. Her husband, she's charged in the death of her husband because she's accused of poisoning him with a lethal dose of fentanyl.
Oh, wow. Had to be the fentanyl.
So, of course, when her husband passes and the police, arrive and they investigate, she initially told them that she'd made her husband a drink of vodka, a mixed drink of vodka, and that he'd also had a THC gummy as they were celebrating the sale of their house. She then later said that she found her 39-year-old husband unresponsive and cold to the touch before he was pronounced deceased.
Oh, wow.
Of
That
course.
was a very, very, very intense THC gummy.
Right? Right. And then my thing is cold to the touch. Like, how long were you away from?
Yeah, exactly. How long was he there if he was cold to the touch?
Right.
And she
Because
technically wasn't lying if she said she gave him a vodka mix.
she did, mixed with fentanyl.
Yep.
So, of course, like they do, there's a toxicology report, and the Utah Medical Examiner's Office said he died from an overdose of fentanyl. The level of fentanyl in his system, they say, was 5 times the lethal dose.
Wow. She had a plan and she was sticking to it. I'll give her that.
Oh, yeah. So
Big badass.
this lady, apparently this isn't the first time. So there's an unsealed warrant that states that Kouri Richins had actually logged into the joint life insurance policy that Eric had with his business partner at his masonry company, C&E Masonry, in January of 2022, months before his death. She actually removed the beneficiaries that he had in place and put herself as a sole beneficiary. Well,
she's got all that money already.
No, because the insurance company ended up notifying Eric and his business company, so they were able to change it back without her knowledge. But she didn't know, she didn't know. She's thinking, oh, I got this money. I'm about to get away in the clear. About the same time that this is happening, that she's, changed the policy, she's also been in contact with an acquaintance about obtaining a prescription for pain medication for a quote investor. This acquaintance, who authorities are only calling CL because they're trying to keep them private until the case goes to court. CL says that Kouri made multiple requests for pain medications and specifically asked for fentanyl and requested, quote, some of the Michael Jackson stuff as well.
Oh, the MJ stuff. And I don't think she's talking about plastic surgery.
Nope, I don't think so. Or Pepsi. So this informant, this person that she requested the drugs from, said they got about 15 to 30 fentanyl pills from a dealer, and they purchased them for $900. Now, I had surgery one time, and I had to be on fentanyl during the surgery. And I was like scared about it because I was like, I heard about this stuff. It's pretty strong. It's some strong stuff. Like that stuff is powerful.
We don't have it over here.
Oh,
We
really?
don't have it over here. No, we don't. We have I think morphine is the highest pain medication you can get.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Huh. Yeah, because like when I had to go for like my pre-op and they were telling me like the drugs I was gonna be on, I was like, that's like real strong, right? And she's like, trust me, you're gonna want it. And I was like, okay.
It sounds fun. It
Yeah.
sounds fun when done correctly.
Right. I was feeling no pain when it was administered the proper way. On February 14th, which here is Valentine's Day. It's not Valentine's Day there, right? Is it? Is that a worldwide thing? That's such an American question.
But
Is that?
yeah, it's February 14th out here as well.
Oh, okay, okay. I know that's a real American question, but
No, because Mother's Day is on a different day out here as well.
oh, that's
So
true. That's true. That's true. Because we just had Mother's Day, but for you, it's when is it?
it was last month, I think. I can't
Okay.
even remember, but last month, I think.
Okay. So on Valentine's Day of last year of 2022, Kouri and Eric had a dinner at their house in Utah, and Eric ended up really sick afterwards. This is what after he had eaten. Apparently, he felt like he had been poisoned at the time. He actually told a friend of his that he thought that Kouri was trying to poison him.
Oh,
About
man.
2 weeks after this, that's when Kouri asks for another $900 worth of fentanyl pills, which she got from this informant CL at one of the homes that she was showing on February 26th of 2020. One of Eric's sisters recalls to authorities that Eric called them actually years and years before while he was vacationing with Kouri in Greece to say that after dinner and drinks, he had become really sick after Kouri had handed him a drink. He told them, if anything happens to me, it's her fault. Years ago, this happened, and why he stayed, I don't know, maybe for the kids. You know, a lot of people don't
That
like
is
to break
exactly
up.
what was going through my mind. A lot of people don't like to break up, but that sounds a bit better than dying.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So on March 3rd, Kouri says that she and her husband were celebrating closing on their $2 million house that was to be used for her business. But his family members are like, no, that's not true, because he actually told her they were not going to buy the home. And that was part of the problem. She had wanted to buy like a 22,000 square foot mansion that she had planned to flip. And he also had told her, allegedly, got to make sure I say that, allegedly, he had also told her that he was going to be cutting her out of his will. So about 9 o'clock that night, Kouri makes Eric a Moscow Mule, and she brings it up to their bedroom. Eric drinks it. He goes to bed, falls asleep. She says that after she gives him the drink, she goes to the bedroom of one of their children who had woken up from a night terror. She says she goes back into their bedroom at 3 a.m., and that's when she felt Eric was cold to the touch, and she called 911. I don't know. Is that long enough though for a body to get cold? I mean, I know it happens
No,
pretty fast, but it
it's not.
doesn't seem like that be.
It's not. It's not. It's not long enough. Don't ask me how I know, but it is not long enough.
I'll take your word on it.
Allegedly, it takes a little bit longer than that.
So of course he's pronounced dead, and she tells police that she kept her phone plugged in next to her bed, and she didn't take it into any other bedroom, or she didn't leave it. She didn't take it out of her bedroom at all. Well, of course, they can look. There's ways that people can look in your phone and they can see if it's been locked or unlocked, because there's ways that if you've been in an accident, they can tell if you were on your phone at the time of the accident. So they, of course, they're able to see that she had not only locked and unlocked her phone multiple times, but she sent and received and deleted messages during this time frame.
Oh, these phones will get you in trouble these days.
Yeah, because these smartphones really be super smart, more than we think they are.
No, they are smart. They are tracking your every move. Literally.
Exactly.
Like, this is proof.
Exactly. Like, I don't understand why people are like, or, people always want to, I'm not going to get into the conspiracies, but people are like, I don't want to do this because the government can do this. They can track you on your phone. We've all
You have
had
your
that.
phone.
Yeah, we've all talked about something and then you see an ad for it or whatever, because it's always listening. They're always listening. Always.
Yep, they are.
So
That's what I mean.
prosecutors,
Nothing.
oh,
Carry on.
oh. So, so prosecutors believe that she possibly, of course, money was the motive, and they do believe that she might have been having an affair, and of course, money was the cause for this alleged murder.
Yeah.
She has not been tried yet. She is going to be going to court on May 19th. So of course, like I said, this is all developing. I don't know. Had you heard about any of this?
We have heard nothing about this one. Nothing about this.
The fact that she wrote a dang on book to help her kids cope and was going on book tours.
She wanted the money. She didn't get the money from the will, the money from the life insurance policy. She had to find ways, and I give her credit for that. She found a way.
Yeah. She even posted like on social media about like how hard life has been without him and how much she misses him. And it's like,
Well, you have to make it look real.
well,
If
yeah.
you're gonna if you're gonna try to get away with murder, you can't act cold. So you just lost your husband, and that's it. You're never gonna mention him again.
Right.
Yeah, you got to try and blend in. Well, obviously, she didn't blend in well enough.
I'm just like amazed though that she had the gall to write a book. I have to help my children cope with the loss of their father. And then
It's
just was like,
that is just unimaginable. The fact that you killed the father of your children,
yeah.
and then you're going to profit off of it by writing a book. It is unbelievable. But like I said, she wanted the money and she found a means to an end. She was like, I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna
I'm
make
gonna
this money.
get that green. I'm gonna get that money.
I want the money. Give me the money.
This is actually, there was actually, I don't know if you heard about this one. About 4 years ago in Portland, Oregon, there was a woman that wrote a book called How to Murder Your Husband, and she was convicted of murdering her husband. She was a romance novelist.
Oh my days. This sounds like O.J. Simpson with if
No.
if I did do it.
If I did do it, yeah. She shot her husband. Her name is Nancy Crampton Brophy, and she shot her husband. 63-year-old. He's a chef, or he was a chef. His name was Daniel. He was a chef at the Oregon Culinary Institute, and she shot him and then wrote a book. And she was sentenced to life in prison. Her book, her essay, described 5 core motives. And a number of different murder weapons she would have chosen if her character were to kill a husband in a romance novel.
That is, yeah, some people just, they either are very brazen or have no sense whatsoever. It's one of the two.
I feel
And
like
I'm
it
not sure
both.
which
You can
one
be
it
like
is.
both though. Like I'm gonna be brazen and I'm just stupid.
Yeah, but which one outweighs the other? This is the bit.
True.
This is the conundrum I'm in. What is outweighing the other?
True. True.
Like,
Like, did you really think you wouldn't get caught? Especially in the case of the romance author. You wrote a book. Your husband's murdered. You write a book, How to Murder Your Husband. Of course, they always look at the spouse first and foremost.
you always look at the closest person to the person. Don't they say most killings are from somebody that you know?
Yes.
Like, if you're going to be murdered, it's more than likely going to be someone you know that does it.
Yes.
So,
And in the case of women, it's typically money is the motive. Typically, money is the motive.
it's a crazy world. Money's the root of all evil.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure I don't have enough for a woman to want to kill me.
So when you get some, you can just pass the extra to me and I'll help you make sure that nobody wants to kill you.
And we used to say that you ain't gonna try to kill me for my money anyway.
Not if
It
you're
might
just
be
handing it over.
you're close to me. So who knows? You might be one of these brazen, not smart people.
Okay, fine. Don't give me any money. I don't want to be accused
I'll
of
give you a
murder.
little bit. I'll give you a little bit.
Oh my goodness. Or as you say, oh my days.
Oh my days.
Um, before I thank you so much for joining me this week on A-Side B-Side podcast. Before I let you go, I have to say, can you please, because my mom does listen to the podcast, so can you please say hello, Shirley?
Hello, Shirley. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you got a smile on your face.
She's gonna
See,
go.
I added a little extra sauce on there for you. So
Or as the
hope you
kids
got,
call it these days, some Riz. Have you heard
yep,
that? Yeah.
yeah, I've heard about the Riz. I've heard about the Riz. I'm too old for the Riz. I can't keep up. I can't keep up.
Oh my days. Well, I appreciate you joining the podcast. What'd you think?
First time I've done anything like this. I apologize if I was no good, but
No, you were great.
it's been a nice experience. It has been a nice experience, and I hope I didn't bore the listeners too much.
Nah, you
And
did good.
I hope they come out well informed and a little bit freaked out by their spouse.
Yeah, right? Now, I
Yep.
will probably say that somebody's going to ask me for some closed caption. What did he say?
More than likely, more than likely, I have to remember to be, more, what should we say, articulate and sound like one of these people from East London. Sound like a proper Cockney.
Or you have to use the Queen's English.
I have to use the Queen's English, and yes, for some reason my voice goes higher when I do that.
You know, it's funny. Okay, so what's his name? Real quick. He was on House. Hugh, is it good
I know
gracious.
exactly who you're on about, and it has left my mind.
Oh, but anyway, so he was the main House doctor. He was the main doctor on House, but when he did his American accent, because he's British,
Yeah.
and when he would do his American accent, his voice was way deeper than when he used his regular accent, or like his normal voice.
I don't know what it is, but like I said to you, English people can pull off American accents, and he obviously wanted to sound sexy and deep, since
Yeah.
that's not his original tones. So,
Of course, we all know Idris Elba had the whole world fooled for a while.
yep, The Wire. I didn't even know he was British.
That's saying something.
I didn't even know he was British.
That's
And the
really
other,
saying something.
and the main police officer in The Wire was also British.
Oh, I know who you're talking about because he was in the affair.
Yeah,
Dominic West.
Dominic West. See, I didn't know he was British either.
Yeah, yeah. Hugh Laurie's House. But yes, I have to say there are so many actors that come here and play roles and play Americans, and then you find out they're British, and you're like, what? Like I watched this show 911, and one of the firefighters on there is British, and I didn't know for like 3 seasons, Oliver Stark.
I don't understand it either because there's so many British actors going to America and they're fooling me. Like, I just don't. Yeah, I'm like, where's all the American actors gone? Everyone's British. We must charge less.
You know what? I have heard that, which is funny
Yeah,
because you're coming from like to us a foreign country,
yep.
but you charge. I don't. It seems like it would be more, but I don't know. I don't make the rules. I'm not in Hollywood. That's probably why there's
We
a
don't
strike
have
right now.
Hollywood. That's what it is. We don't have Hollywood, and we believe Hollywood is the biggest thing you could ever be a part of. So the fact that you're going to Hollywood and being in these big budget movies, it's like the fame outweighs the money to a degree.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. And trust me, the least that they're getting paid in America is probably a lot more than they'll be getting paid out of it.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, any show suggestions besides Dear Mama before we go?
I don't. I
Okay.
really don't. My
All
mind is
right.
drawn a blank.
Well, if you come back, you'll have to make sure you have a show suggestion.
I will do. I'm gonna make sure. I know the rules now. I learned the rules on the job.
I did put you on the spot today. I like pulled you in at the last
Yeah,
minute, so
but that
you
is
get a
perfectly
pass.
fine. That's perfectly fine. I enjoyed every minute of it.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
All right. So, of course, you can check out this episode on YouTube, on all the streamers. Of course, you get all of the sources on our website, asidebsidepodcast.square.site. And Luke, again, thanks so much.
You are welcome. Thank you for having me.